Last night, I went to go see the Batman movie, and I have to say it was a very enjoyable experience. It was one of my new favorite Batman movies that could have been debuted. It was practical, it was real, it really explored elements that should have been touched upon years ago, and it made Batman, I think, even more of a serious character than ever before. Robert Pattinson and Matt Reeves has really worked together to make it such a enjoyable and loving Batman experience, being this brutish kind of angsty child into a mature servant of the night. Robert Pattinson this time around, as everyone was debating over if he would be good or not, I personally find him to be completely okay. I mean, Batman's not a very hard role to conquer here. For the most part, Michael Keaton couldn't even move his neck, and he did it. So I don't really give too much credit for the Batman figure as long as you can just move around and do things and look kind of cool in the suit. You'll be all right. That's why it didn't really work out for Val Kilmer. He didn't look cool with those nipples. Um, Zoe Kravitz as Selena Kyle. Jeffrey Wright as James Gordon. The 3 seconds that we seen Andy Serkis as Alfred Pennyworth. Colin Farrell killing it as the Penguin, and then Paul Dano. You see him really take all of those acting chops, and it all comes into place here. You get that Jeffrey Dahmer kind of feel, that Zodiac feel, that all the above. He checks all the boxes. The music score was phenomenal. Um, really captured it. However, I think it was just my movie theater, but it was kind of quiet at certain points where I felt like the music could have stepped it up a bit. Chase scenes, especially they were very important. I felt like it really went with it, but like again, I also felt like at times it was just too quiet. The cars, the setting, the feeling of I'm from Buffalo, so like I get like that feeling of like when a city's kind of stuck somewhere in time, and you get that like in parts and chunks of the city. It's like stuck in the 90s and the 80s a little bit, since when Thomas um Wayne was assassinated with his wife Martha. It seems like the city and everything in its good nature or good intent went downhill, and honestly, it's at that point. It's unignorable. I mean, the overlying theme, besides the concepts of noir-esque mystery, who done it kind of, or who, where is he, go get him kind of movie storytelling. It is I wrote down here, it is the effects of corruption. The corruption affecting the rich, the poor, and the mentally ill. Three types of people, and it goes into a second generation. It affects generations of people, and you really see that, and you feel almost feel for some of the characters. You can't feel for the Riddler. You can't feel for the Riddler. Okay, so but like the lighting, oh my god, the lighting. I honestly, I've I've been seeing this more and more recently since like movies like The Witch and stuff like that. Like I love when they let the lighting be the lighting. Like they're not forcing the lighting on you. I mean, if it's red, it's red. I mean, if it's dark, it's dark. Like you don't force darkness. I feel like some movies kind of force light, force like certain things on you, and this movie really just captures light, like or maybe darkness, and it does it in such a manner that I can't. I'm just man. I don't know. I get really easily stumbled over my words, but it was just such a good thing to see. I liked the inexperiencedness of Batman. He was like a year. I mean, he's talking about a year two throughout the whole thing. He really was pushing himself in different ways in it, and you can see that he was trying things out, kind of like for the first time without giving too much away, of course. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the inexperienced Batman. It just Christian Bale comes to I know he's got like 10 years of like training and stuff, but like he just goes right into form like immediately in Batman Begins, and that I think that honestly made me like Batman Begins less than this movie right there, because it just showed the the rawness of a human, a guy, just a guy. He's like my size. I'm not that big, people. I'm like 6'1" and like 140 pounds, like soaking wet. I feel like I could be the Batman with like no lone wolf like mentality behind that. Let me rephrase that. I feel like I could be the Batman with all that armor on, of course, but it brings me to the bat suit. The bat suit looked amazing. And remove the bat ring from his chest. You can use that cut thing like that. He can move his neck more. You can see in the middle. There's like kind of like a layering kind of going on, so the cowl's on there. I like that he's using makeup, and you can see the makeup on there. No more of that Michael Keaton nonsense where makeup one scene, no makeup next. That's done. Very excited about that kind of thing. So, and I love my favorite part about this movie was the relationships. The relationships. I mean, Batman and Catwoman, Batman and Jim Gordon, Batman and Alfred sometimes when Alfred is there, and like it's just so good. It is so good to see the relationships. They're so real. Like it's level, ground level, street level. I'm gonna call it street level because this is exactly what this Batman is. It's a very street level Batman, and it is very grounded to the core of his people. I mean, he needs Jim Gordon in this. It is unignorable. Like what you see is what you're going to expect of Jim Gordon. I honestly would say he's a better Jim Gordon than Gary Oldman, and that's me struggling over those words. I think that Jeffrey Wright is a much better Jim Gordon than. Oh my God. I'm saying that out loud, but he's fantastic. I absolutely love him. And I do love Pattinson. Colin Farrell as the Penguin is remarkable. I don't know why they just didn't use John Travolta though. John Turturro, they could have used anyone for that. Honestly, in my opinion, without giving too much away. Again, Paul Dano is a treasure. Andy Serkis, again, they could have used anybody. Zoe Kravitz is easily my favorite Catwoman of all time now. Also, characters from the comic books that you don't hear and see about. Elements that come from the comic books. A Dark Victory, Batman Year One. I would say Long Halloween. The Dark Knight Returns. There's fight scenes, literally. I would say like that's Dark Knight Returns level, buddy. Like. But like yeah, those basic bro volumes of Batman. I know there's like so many of those. Those are the great things I didn't like. Unfortunately, some of the shots were jarring. I couldn't get a grasp of time sometimes. It was kind of hard to determine where was what and who was when. The length of the movie, I counted at least 4 times. I said I could have shaved 10 minutes right here because of the inexperiencedness of Batman. I guess it falls on some goofiness and some blunders, and you really get to see that again. I guess it is just like a double-edged sword with the inexperiences of Batman, and you kind of have to take it for what it is. But you know, it's hard when you're trying to like be like, this is the protector of the night, the most feared man in the city. If they shaved the time, I think that would have saved me like a backache and maybe like a kidney stone or two, because I definitely held that pee because I wanted to see every second of this movie. I did. That's not a takeaway from how I felt about this movie. This movie overall, as a Batman fan, this is someone who's been collecting comics of Batman on and off since like Nightfall as a boy. I would say that this is probably my second or third favorite Batman film. My first is, of course, Dark Knight. Second, I like the Michael Keaton Batman movies. Both of them, the Batman and Batman Returns, tie for me. And then I liked the Mask of the Phantasm. I count the animated movies because they are good. They are so good. And if you haven't watched Mask of the Phantasm or Justice League Doom or Justice League Dark or anything like that, please watch all the animated movies. There is like 20 years of content. 20 years of content, excuse me. All animated movies. Some towards the end in the last decade, they start tying in together, and that's what makes them special. So definitely something I would recommend. But this Batman movie, Matt Reeves Batman movie of 2022, the Mang Pattinson movie is phenomenal. I loved it. I would honestly try to shorten it if I could. Watch it in sections and parts. Time out your peas. But overall, it is such a good movie. I think that you'll all enjoy it. I hope this was a spoiler-free review. And if you like everything that you hear here today, if you want more, let me know. Thank you so much.